Hello, let's finish Chapter 7, Endling the Last. Chapter 7, The Poacher's Return. I motioned for the Wabak to stay low, unnecessarily given that a Wabak standing on tiptoes is still shorter than a Darren creeping on all fours. Leading the way, tree trunk to tree trunk, I calculated each step for silence. The sense of human and horses and dog grew stronger. I strained my ears but heard nothing but my thundering heart. It was the dogs I feared. The nose of a dog is almost as talented as a Darren's, but the breeze was my friend, blowing them to me and concealing us. One human was nearer. I was sure of it. The others were farther back with the horses. With movements so slow and cautious that I doubted any predator, human or otherwise, could detect them, I pushed aside the brambles of a bilberry bush, and there he was. He stood alone near a fallen log in a small clearing, intense concentration on his face. Slender and tall, he was dressed in simple, pleasant peasant clothes, a faded brown shirt beneath a leather jerkin fastened with a belt, woolen trousers, and a tall, buff set of leather boots. I knew almost nothing about human emotions, and yet I sensed somehow that this one was anxious. No more than that. He was angry. Did ye ever catch sight of it again, guide? It was not the slender boy, but a yell from deeper in the forest. No, master, the boy called back. Drowned in the sea, most likely. I heard the faint sound of horses stamping their hoofs impatiently. Nearby I heard two sets of feet, human and I thought plodding through the underbush. Two bearded men came into view on either side of the boy. One was short and heavy set, the other tall and gaunt. I recognized as the leader of the poachers. They were dressed in cast-off bits of armor over leather jerkins. Each had a sword, a bow, and two knives. What was it, do you think? Asked the leader. Thought it was a wolf or a dog, maybe, said the other. But the way it practically flew right off that cliff. I'm thinking it had to be a Darren. Never seen a Darren in my life, never met a soul who's seen one. The leader leaned against a thick pine, arms crossed. Boy, what do you think it was? I'm not sure, the guide answered. Suppose we'll never know. They say Darren fur's the softest and the warmest in the world. One pelt feed us all for a year, and then some, said the short man. True, said the guide, but I dare say a Darren would fetch far more alive, rare as they are. Cursed creatures. The short man spit. My grandfather saw two back when he was a boy. Claimed their noses were bewitched. They can smell a fart 100 furlongs away. The leader grunted a laugh. Here's hoping where there's one Darren, there's more. If we do catch one, said the boy, please don't kill it. He paused when the leader sent him a dark look. I just mean to say it'll be more coin in our pockets if we can capture it. Worth plenty dead and quicker by half, the leader grumbled. Speaking of which, I ever hear you scream, don't kill it, in the middle of a hunt again, and it'll be your pelt we're taking to market. The boy looked to the ground. Yes, master. Where to, then, boy? Asked the leader, seeing as you're so clever. The guide turned and then stood still as stone, staring into the trees. He was looking in our direction, despite the thick cover of the bilberry bush. I sensed that he saw us. The men fell silent. The guide closed his eyes. He's catching the tracking spell again, the first man said. Then shut your gob and let him at it. The guide's eyes opened. In spite of the distance between us, I could see that they were deep brown, heavy-lidded, and thoughtful. Head north, he called to the men. I'll grab my mount and catch up with you. The older men moved away. The boy waited in silence, taking in the scene. Then he, too, departed. But before he disappeared into the trees, he stopped and glanced back toward us. And I thought, though I could not be sure that he was smiling. That's the end of chapter 7. I wonder why the guide didn't let the poachers know that the Darren and the Wobble were there. Why would he do that? What would his motivation be? To just let them go? Think about that, and we'll see you soon for chapter 8.